What makes the streets of San Francisco resonate under the theme No Minor Vices is its unwavering focus on process rather than spectacle, on how crime grows organically out of social tolerance rather than erupting as an isolated anomaly. The series repeatedly frames crime as the endpoint of a chain, and each scene functions as a link that reveals how respectability and corruption often share the same language. Mike Stone's investigative style is patient and almost paternal, shaped by an understanding that people rarely see themselves as villains, while Steve Heller's intensity highlights the danger of delay, the cost of waiting too long to intervene. Their partnership becomes a living argument about whether restraint prevents chaos or enables it, and the show never fully resolves this tension, instead allowing it to define the emotional core of the narrative. Scenes that might seem mundane on the surface, a conversation in a city office, a casual interview in a living room, a walk through a neighborhood, are charged with ethical weight because the series treats every choice as consequential. One of the most compelling aspects is how often authority figures are implicated not through overt criminality, but through complacency, the willingness to look away because the problem seems manageable or inconvenient to address. This makes the viewer complicit, encouraging reflection on how often similar compromises are accepted in real life. I have always found it striking how the show avoids moral grandstanding. Stone rarely lectures, and Heller's anger is usually contained rather than explosive. Instead, the series relies on accumulation, allowing patterns to emerge gradually until the audience cannot deny them. Compared to later police dramas that emphasize corruption as an exception within the system, The Streets of San Francisco suggests that systems themselves can normalize harm through routine and repetition. San Francisco's visual openness contrasts sharply with the moral opacity of the stories, reinforcing the idea that transparency in appearance does not guarantee ethical clarity. The title No Minor Vices captures the show's insistence that harm does not need to be dramatic to be real, and that the line between acceptable and unacceptable behavior is often drawn too generously. By the time an episode concludes, the viewer is left not with satisfaction, but with recognition, the uncomfortable awareness that the conditions enabling the crime remain largely intact. This refusal to provide emotional closure is one of the series' greatest strengths, as it mirrors the ongoing nature of moral responsibility in a complex society. The Streets of San Francisco ultimately argues that vigilance is not heroic, but necessary, and that ignoring small wrongs is not neutrality, but participation, a message delivered with a restraint that makes it all the more powerful.